compromise of that malware, what are the capabilities of that malware, who made that, who is the writer, all the details that is there for the technical feed. And in every day, what you do is like you organize a 30-minute session where you share the latest threat intel feed for that day. Okay. If there's anything eligible to share, in that case, you set up a 30 minutes call and you share all the latest threat intel feed with your whole team. You make them aware of all the things happening right now, and you also document that in in a threat intel portal. So there are multiple threat intel portals for free. I can't recall the name, but I think there are multiple threat intel portals. Yeah, so yeah, this is one, anomaly.com. It's actually quite good. So what you do is like, you use the product, for example, let's say, and whatever threat intel you are getting, you make it you document that out in this threat intel. And let's say, for example, when you read about a threat intel feed for a malware, you also record all the IOCs that has been seen, indicator of compromise, like let's say the mutex that malware uses, the IP address which it communicates to, the domain name that it queries. So all those IOCs, you kind of document that out in that point. And what you also do is work with the engineering and infrastructure team to do one thing. So one of the things that you can implement is that as soon as you implement an IOC on the or document an IOC on that threat intel platform, there will be a script that auto execute, and what that will do, it will automatically search for the logs for any kind of matches with that IOC, and also it will set up an alert for that IOC automatically. Okay, so now as soon as you document that stuff, those IOCs in the portal, the SOC team start getting an alert, like if there's got anything seen uh, earlier, or if there's anything that needs will be seen in future. Okay, so all those alerts will be start coming out to the SOC team, and in that alert there will be a link to your portal. Okay, the portal to the document link where you have documented what this IOC is related to. Let's say the malware name, the author, the
Uh,
threat intel.
so
Yeah, go
I
on.
have a question here. So, sir, as you said, like we will be getting the alerts, like it will automate the things. So, is it like we need to have some integration with the portal, that Intel portal, so that we can get those
Yeah.
automated?
Yes. So for that, the thing is that this is something you need to kind of work with your engineering management team of the SOC. Okay, who the team will kind of figure out. Okay, how can they kind of integrate? How can they can kind of take an input automatically from your threat intel portal, and kind of implement certain kind of script that will run and search for those IOCs in past and set up an alert. So this is something which will kind of, it is not a single point which will be kind of common for all organizations. It will depend on your team architecture and all, which the engineering management team should be aware of. Okay, and they could kind of help you basically kind of implement that step. So so in most of the organizations, there's a different team which is development engineering team. Let's say for an example, and their work is basically to increase to add capabilities to the SOC team. So the SOC team doesn't needs to kind of work on kind of implementing this kind of script automation. It's something that you can ask your development engineering team to kind of help you out in kind of setting up uh, those kind of platforms where the input is automatically. So let's say for an example, let's say for example, you are your whole architecture is dependent, is let's say developed on the cloud, let's say Azure. So Azure, and let's say your threat intel portal is running on an Azure environment, and it is kind of what you say. Let me show you something. Um, So there is something called as PubSub, okay, which is called publish and subscribe model. Okay. So what this PubSub will do is that what it will do is that, let's say how the architecture will look like. So let me do the diagram over here. Okay. Mhm. So let's say this is your threat intel portal. Okay. And let's say, I don't know why my laptop is a little bit slow today. I need to figure out that later. Okay. So in the meantime, let's say your threat intel portal, and let's say this is your theme tool, okay, which has all the logging, central logging enabled. So all the logs of your company is kind of coming to the theme tool, okay, and you have a certain portal, okay. Now, what you do is actually when an analyst access this threat intel portal, and let's say he or she document a new malware finding in this terminal portal. Let's say the malware name is XYZ, and it has certain IOCs like IP address and all. As soon as that thing that malware has been kind of documented, what this application will do? It will have those features. What it will do? It will publish that alert. It will publish an alert saying. Uh, so let's say it will publish an alert, and let's say over here, so let me do this diagram once again quickly. Okay, and let's say this is something which is called pub, which means publish. So it will publish an alert that there is some documentation that happened on the threat intel portal. Okay, and now once it has published, so there will be different subscriber. There will be different subscriber to this alert. So let's say one of the API of that same tool subscribes to this alert. An example. Okay, subscribe to this alert. Okay, so as soon as this alert is published by the threat portal, the same tool knows that okay, an alert has been published. It fetches the data. Okay, it fetches the data. What has been there published by the threat portal, and then there's a script running inside this same tool, which automate the analysis for you. So it will be kind of depending. So let's say subscribe and automate. Okay, so this is something which how the kind of architecture will look like. So threat intel portal publishes an alert whenever any documentation has been saved by the analyst, and then let's say same tool has an API which subscribes to that alert and get the details from there. Okay, fetches the detail from that portal, and then it automatically automate that stuff. So thing is that this this thing will vary depending on what kind of threat intel portal you are using, what kind of API it exposes. Does it provide services of publish and subscribe? Do you have license for that? And similarly, for the same tool that you use, you need to check with your engineering department. Does it has a functionality of subscribing to those document that has been kind of published in the threat intel portal? Now the thing is that why there can be a way where the threat intel feed directly goes to the same, but it won't be a good I will say a good decision where the threat intel feed direct. So let's say there's a threat intel feed over here that's coming from outside. Okay. Uh, so the case should be that this feed, let's say, never goes directly to this same tool. Okay, this shouldn't be the case. It always should go first to the threat intel portal because you need to do certain filtering, you need to do certain documentation work. Uh, like you need to refresh the document in such a way that anyone who reads that document is able to quickly understand that. Because in most of the cases, the threat intel feed will be little bit cryptic in manner. So thing is that it won't be easy to understand by every analyst or every leadership. So you need to make that the feed that comes up, you need to document that up in a very layman terms, so that anyone who reads that, it is much more detailed, it is much more risked, and then you kind of feed this, and then it goes to the same tool. So this is something you need to kind of work with the engineering department, and they will kind of help you in kind of setting this thing up.